Thank you, Mr. President. I also rise today in support of this resolution. It is almost otherworldly to be standing up here making these remarks, but here we are. We cannot see the violent attack on the Capitol last Wednesday as a spontaneous eruption of violence. I don't believe. It was not. It was the logical culmination of a months-long campaign waged by a sitting president and his allies both in Congress and in the media to overturn the results of a free and fair election. This campaign began, as we know, long before the ballots began to be counted and certified. House Democrats have filed an article of impeachment against Trump, charging him with, quote, incitement of insurrection. The article notes that Trump's months of lies about the election, his inflammatory speeches, which included lines like, quote, if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore, led directly to, quote, violent, deadly, destructive, and seditious acts. It also makes reference to Mr. Trump's January 2nd call to Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, demanding that he, quote, find enough votes to overturn the election results in that state. These two instances, which are but two among many, clearly show us that Mr. Trump is no longer capable of leading the country. These acts are seditious, they are treasonous. Mr. Trump has failed in his duty to respect the legitimate results of the presidential election, to accept the peaceful transfer of power, to protect people of the U.S., and to see that the laws of this country are faithfully executed. COVID has killed more than 375,000 Americans, and yet during this time of global crisis, he's chosen to fan the flames of civil unrest instead of coordinating vaccine delivery, healthcare, solving any of our pressing problems. It's a dark day in U.S. democracy when we have to call for impeachment a second time, and yet to not do so, I believe, would be deeply irresponsible. We cannot let Mr. Trump's lawless and anti-democratic attempts to remain in power go unanswered, because doing so would invite more of the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Coleman. Senator Cano.